When thinking about the real estate and lending world right now, it's an ever changing market, and people think to themselves, would I want to get into this right now? Well, if you did, you think about these three things. Is that company on the rise? Do they have the right resources? Does it have the energy that you're looking for? Well, Western Pioneer Financial and Properties is one of those companies, growing over 150% in the last 2 years. And remember, the last 2 years in this market were times that were challenging. So I have today with me the owner broker of Western Pioneer Financial and Properties, Scott Handley, and he brings all of those things to the table. So I want to get into some depth questions with him about aligning yourself and working with the right people. Welcome, Scott, to the show.
Well, it's an honor to be here, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting a little bit deep. Looking forward to
Yeah.
understanding each other. And yeah, this is good stuff.
Well, Scott, I can honestly tell you that, being here over the last 2 years myself, during these challenging times in this market, it was really important for me to be able to get with you. And I've been so excited about having you here to ask you these kind of questions, because I know everybody has these thoughts, right? Where the real estate market is tough, but I love the industry. I want to get in. So let's answer those questions for the people, okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dig right in.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Okay. So first off, now you've built such a unique company in both real estate and lending. What was the pivotal experience that shaped your approach to building this company? And how can aspiring agents and loan officers recognize when they're at the right company at the right time?
Wow, that's a great question. So our company, Western Pioneer Financial and Properties, I consider a two-dimensional company where we have the real estate brokerage and the mortgage brokerage. However, I keep everything completely separate as far as incentivizing. But the pivotal moment was identifying the disconnect from loan officer to realtor in transactions. So when I studied a business model, I studied some of the bigger ones out there. There was Rocket Mortgage with Rocket Homes. And I realized some of the bigger mortgage and real estate companies had ancillary subsidiary mortgage companies. They were just under a different name. Me being a full transparent person, I thought, let's put it under one name. Let's kind of have it all together, because the pivotal moment really was seeing such a disconnect with loan officer and realtor, and I wanted to piece it all together.
Right. And I think that's just such a dynamic sense of thinking when it comes to this injury, because people want to know that they feel unified.
Sure.
Right? In
Yes.
that. Okay. Thank you. Scott, when you think about what separates truly successful real estate agents and or brokerages from the rest, how can agents looking for a new career, or even loan officers looking for a new career, find a home that has culture, mentorship, structure, and how will you support them in the long run?
Well, that's a great question. And I ask myself that every single day on how I can fulfill that role. And with business, there's been some challenging times, such as, 2020, right? The pandemic, everyone started going to remote work and home work. And we saw out of the woodwork a lot of companies, Fortune 500 companies, coming out internet based and scaling and growing at high levels. But we identified that there was a lack of support, there was a lack of culture, and where there's completely cloud-based brokerages out there that serves a certain model and a certain agent, but not for the beginner agent. The beginner agent needs a place where they could hold their hat, they could call home, have a local office, someone that they can go face-to-face with, belly-to-belly with, and an organization that offers mentorships or teams to go on, especially someone that is starting out. I recommend them to go on a team or a mentorship, because you're going to get 100% hands-on experience right in front of you.
And I can truly attest to that, because, being here, one of the things that I was looking for was the energy, right? And where I was before joining Western Pioneer and then wanting to develop Team Walker and all of that, was I needed that energy. I needed that culture.
Yeah.
So I really, I'm so glad that you explained that the way that you did, because I want people to know like the mentorship, the resources
Mm-hmm.
that you provide have helped me grow my own business over 40% year over year. So as you grow Western Pioneer over 150%,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to talk about quantity and quality here in a little bit, but even my own business by what you do. So I can just attest to everybody listening right now, like growth is where this place is going,
Oh yeah,
right?
we're going
That's
north.
where we're going.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, Scott, with the shifts in the real estate market, how do you stay resilient and adaptable? And what advice would you offer to agents or clients on how to leverage the market to their benefit, especially when aligning themselves with this company and its resources?
Yeah. So early on, getting into real estate, a mentor told me, Scott, the only thing that is constant is change.
Hmm.
So we're always having to adapt. We're always having to pivot. Most recently, we say we've had a shift, but I call it a shift is a gift. And the reason for it is because if you study your craft and you hone your craft and you know your data, then especially myself as a broker, I'm able to share firsthand knowledge with my loan officers and my realtors what's going on in the market. I eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. So therefore, I am trying to stay proactive on finding market trends, getting data, and reporting it back to my team as much as possible. We have daily training over here, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. We have role play and script mastery for those trying to get into the business, just to learn the dialogue, just how to speak to people, tonality. Those are the things a lot of people overlook or don't really even talk about. But here we talk about those things. A lot of places will just throw you a book and say get to work and start making phone calls. I'm a firm believer though, knowledge drives confidence. And if you're not confident, then you can't go out and sell your product. And if you don't have knowledge, you can't go and sell your product. So it's our job at Western Pioneer, Team Walker, to deliver to our team, to our loan officers, to our realtors, the knowledge to pass on ultimately to their clients.
I have always been one of those people, like, change is always uncomfortable, right?
Sure.
And when I truly started developing a sense that fear equals success,
Mm-hmm.
right? You should get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You should feel a little bit of fear. Fear motivates people,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's not something that people should run from,
Right.
right? So adaptability and change builds resilience,
Yeah.
right? So we have to embrace those kinds of things in order to grow and develop and find our craft, hone our craft, master the craft.
And a lot of times we can't do that stuff alone. And that's why there's no I in team. That's why we need a team or a culture to share those vulnerabilities with each other, to see what our pain points are. And those are just things that, a mentor would be able to guide you in the right direction for, to steepen your learning curve, because they're going to tell you what landmines not to step on because they've already stepped on them. So yeah, just
Yeah.
changes and being under the right environment as well, like we talked about, so you can make change. Change is never easy, like you talked about it. But if you have the right support system, you have the right people in your corner encouraging you, positive mindsets, not just being negative, just knowing that you're human too. We all make mistakes, but maybe 1% better every day, but just to push it in the right direction, having that environment around you for a support system is the difference maker in who will make it and who won't in this business.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
Scott, for me, Team Walker, and I know for you, a broker owner of Western Pioneer Financial and Properties, there's a perspective as an investor. What do you believe agents and loan officers and people who work for you, as well as people who work for me, need to consider in real estate investing, right? Or in real estate practices? How can we change and align with the right resources to help clients grow their wealth?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm a big advocate of being an investor on top of an agent. What I mean by that is I want first someone to identify the difference between active earned income and passive income. And real estate and mortgages offer the luxury of both. But however, we have to master our craft, which is our active income. That is our income that we're earning our commissions from, that we're out there hitting sales hard from, and we're reinvesting into our business. However, that is our vehicle of having an active income outlet, such as a mortgage loan originator, such as a realtor. However, once we build them up like we do and we're into surplus mode, we want to put those into hard assets, and we want to put them into hard assets that could produce passive income for the long term. And that's what we teach here. We're all about the long term, because as a independent mortgage loan officer, as a realtor, we don't have a 401k plan. We do not work for government where we have the luxury of a pension. So we have to create our retirement through a hard asset, through passive income. And that's what we like to teach over here, is not just to just hone in 100% on your sales, but to eventually get it to a point where you're in surplus, where you can invest it. Moreover, the fact that we're more investor friendly like that, and we teach that, that keeps someone motivated for the long term. Or should I say disciplined for the long term, because it helps someone set their targets. It helps someone understand where they are going, and they have a plan that is intentional. Most people in this business don't know where they're going. And it's our job as leaders, as broker owners, to help guide them to find out what they really want. A lot of people really don't know what they want, and it's our job to guide them there. And once we identify the targets, once we identify the goals, then the day in and day out grind isn't so hard. We start to develop a whistle while you work mentality, because you know you are getting better. You're striving to reach your goals, and ultimately we're trying to find the financial freedom for our families, or take care of our loved ones. It's willable legacy. I could go on.
And that's perfect, because I know, in assessing and implementing those values and those ideas,
Yeah.
even with my own team, right? My junior loan officers, my assistants, anybody that works for Team Walker, they have to have that mindset. Right? They have to be able to see the bigger picture, right? And that's one of the things that I love about Western Pioneer and you, Scott, is that you've always seen the bigger picture. How can we grow in different ways? It's not just about real estate.
Right.
It's not just about mortgages. Those are what we do, but we want to evolve, right? We want to become more, and money doesn't make money sitting in a bank.
Yep.
Right?
It takes what, 732 years to double your money.
That's right. Statistically speaking, we could go on about how, and moreover, you'll see it everywhere you go with great investors, how if you have it, real estate is always your best investment. It's always going to be the thing that takes you to the next level. And that's what I love, that because I have actually learned so much from you in that arena, in the investing side, right? So I'm this loan officer who builds my company, builds my team, builds my brand, but you brought a new dynamic to my thinking. And I'm eternally grateful for that, because I now look at things differently. It's like, well, how can I invest my own, or become different, or become a real estate investor myself? So
yeah,
it's not just about come here, do real estate, do mortgages. It's about growing and developing people.
100%. 100%. And, working alongside you, watching you first in the office, last to leave, has just been amazing myself. So it's a win-win situation around here. You might take a few pages out of my book, but you bring 25 years of mortgages to our book, and I'm taking pages out of your book. So it's truly a win-win situation here. And that's why, with Western Pioneer and Team Walker, it's just a great dynamic, and to work alongside you, and just, I'm grateful. Then that's what I move off of, is like gratitude. Yes, we work very hard, but at the end of the day, we know money's a byproduct of the hard work. We're doing it for, we love what we do. I could tell you're so passionate on what you do and how you go to bat for your clients and your team. You're there for your team no matter what. Weekends, anything your team needs, you are there for them. So, and that's really the message I want people to know, is we are open doors and we are open minds over here. And if someone has just a great attitude and a work ethic, we will invest in them. We will invest in them, our time, our money, and that's who we want to bring around in our environment. And we talk about that all the time. So that's why I like these podcasts, because oftentimes myself being vulnerable, it doesn't really. Sometimes social media, I'm kind of closed off, but on these podcasts, I want to make sure people know, like, we're very approachable. We're here to teach. I want to learn, and I'm forever a student, and the doors are always open.
Amen. I mean, I always want to remain teachable, right?
Yeah.
I always want to be able to, there's nothing better than watching someone grow.
Yeah.
Right. Like bringing in somebody who's hungry for the business or wants to learn, this, because there's real estate and mortgages. I got to tell you, for me, once I got in, there was never any looking back. Right.
All in.
Because I got to create I was the master of my time, my income.
Yep.
It was a make or break situation, but it was, I'd worked in the corporate arena. I'd worked for the man, and I had done all of that stuff, and all of it just dissatisfying.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, feeling frustrated or not in control. Right. And with this model, with this business, with working with people like you, it's, my career in that past 25 years has changed, and for a long time I thought it wasn't growing. And then when I got here, I honestly can tell you, like, it's alive again, right? You find yourself in a situation. So yes, we bring each other good energy.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And when you talk about that, I see the spark in your eye, and just
because look at how, we jot ideas past each other all the time. Hey, Scott, what do you think about this? Hey, Michelle, what can I do better? You're always asking me. You're the owner of the company, but you ask me, what can I do better?
Yeah, I need that
Because you're looking
feedback.
for ideas. You're
Yeah.
looking for suggestions. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time a corporate VP came to me and said, when I was working for, retail lending companies, that, what's your idea on this? Like, this didn't happen, right?
Well, you're
It's
so
just-
self-sufficient. Sometimes I'm like wanting to walk over there just to, hey, do you need help with anything? Because, it's just, but you're so dialed in. You're so locked in with you, your team, your clients, your realtor partners. You're just extremely focused. And I just, if I could support it in any which way, that's what I want to make sure I'm doing at all times. And that's why I do seldomly check in. Hey, do you make sure we got this? Or, hey, how are we doing better? Or, hey, what do you think about a new CRM this way? And we're always going to continue to build on that.
Yeah, the systems and the resources, okay,
Yeah.
that are here. Like, there's just no lengths that you won't go to help support and grow, your agents and your loan officers. And so I just want people to know that too. It's crazy because some of the stuff, it can get overwhelming.
Sure.
Right? We've talked about this all the time,
Yeah.
where this CRM or that LOS, and for those of you that aren't wondering what those acronyms mean, so a CRM is a client retention management system. It's where we hold our client database. And, an LOS is a loan origination system. So we have to master different systems, technologically.
Yep.
And to get to learn that stuff, it can appear to be overwhelming. And then you want to throw in things like social media.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know, for me, I guess I would be kind of in the middle of Gen X and Gen Z and all. I don't know. I'm somewhere in one of those generations, but I didn't grow up. I have had to evolve with technology, but embracing things like social media.
Right.
Those resources are here for us to learn and use, so we can evolve with everybody else in this industry and
Right.
make the information available to people. So, on that note, my next question: what types of people and personalities tend to thrive in the real estate industry?
Yeah, there's many different characteristics. First and foremost, I do look for someone that is extroverted, because this is a sales business. But I say that by saying this: I could work with anyone, because I'm actually an introvert myself. I'm an innate introvert, especially growing up half Japanese. Culturally, we are introverted, but I realize in sales, I have to extrovert myself. I have to, like you mentioned earlier, get uncomfortable. I have to do the outreach and just like the outbound activities, So that's what I look for. Someone, if they're not an extrovert, at least they have the ability to get uncomfortable and maybe extrovert themselves a little bit to just get in front of people, to have those conversations, to feel rejection, to feel what it's like to have someone ghost you at an appointment. And those are things that are, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen in this business and how mentally tough we are. I like to say 80% of this business is mindset. So I do also look for their mindset. Is it positive? Are they looking like they are just trying to get in this because it's a quick buck opportunity, or do they have a long-term mindset? The most successful people in this business that I see can prolong the rewards. They could do the work without having to feel the outcome right away, is usually the one that's sustained in this business the longest. It's the one that looks for instant gratification. The moment something goes wrong, then they just don't have the mental fortitude or the resilience, and then they just, maybe jump to another shiny penny industry. So I am looking for someone that, strong mindset, a little bit extrovert, or at least is willing to get themselves out there, put themselves out there and get a little bit uncomfortable. Would be probably the first two characteristics I would look for that in a positive mindset.
I agree. In interviewing people, I always kind of see where that stands.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now for people that are newer though, don't really understand the industry.
Yes.
And we talk about those things. You can tell when you talk to people, like, are they hungry for it?
Right.
Do they have the shiny penny mentality?
Right.
Like, I need money now. I need to get rich quick. And it's just not one of those things.
Right.
Because it is a craft you have to master.
Mm-hmm.
It is a skill you have to develop. So things like role playing,
Yeah.
scripting, overcoming rejection.
Yep.
What else? The infinite things that because I too, I'm an ambivert, right? And I recently learned what that term meant. It was kind of funny because I can be super social, but my gut and interbeing is introvert. Like I would stay home if you let me all the time.
I think there's a lot of us. Yeah.
Right? I would just that's my little space, right? But getting uncomfortable, doing those things, so seeking out those types of people to help grow and really develop them. That is such a reward.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that is a reward, like captivating the mind and watching it develop and grow? That's for me on my team. Like when I hire, and I'm like, especially with somebody that's new and doesn't have a lot of experience in the industry, if they've got that hunger, I'm willing to see where that goes. There's dynamics that you have to have. There's experience that you have to have, but not always.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I know for you take that agent who is hungry, even if they haven't had a lot of experience, in fact, no experience, as long as they've got that hunger, you're willing to mentor them and bring them forth and show them like, this is what you can really do. Right.
100%. And I think that attests to why you and I both have such a great success and track record with our loan officers or on our team members, is because we go a little bit deeper. We understand their why. What is your why into this business? Do you want to maybe retire your parents, or maybe my children, their college fund wasn't paid for because or whatever their why is, and understanding that, I think that's where you and I kind of go deeper with our loan officers, so we know where we can help them best. Because if we're talking about rejection, it's because we've experienced it many, many, many times over, where we're now numb to it. But I could remember the very first time when I went door to door selling and got rejected. I was 12 years old. It was for a Babe Ruth Little League. I was selling candy bars door to door. And I remember I got a door slammed in my face and I ran home crying. And it hurt me, and it really hurt me. And I think even the next year there was a jogathon and I didn't go door to door because of it, but I had to overcome it. I had to overcome it, and then I eventually did. But those are just things we've been there. So those are the, I think, conversations not a lot of brokers or team leaders really dig deep on their team, and finding out some vulnerabilities, or are we interested or are we committed? And I like to ask that a lot. Fork in the road question with someone that's joining. Would you say you're interested or committed? And the difference is someone that's interested will just do something on their own time and their own convenience. But someone that's committed will do whatever it takes for no matter how long it takes until you get the result. So we're looking for the mindsets that will commit to this business.
Amen. Amen. And it is such a gift to be able to wake the spirit up of somebody
Yeah.
that wants to do this. And you know and I know I've seen a lot of times where agents are at other places and even loan officers are at other companies and they just are struggling, or don't have that kind of mentorship or leadership or guidance. And I think to myself, if it's not if it's not fruitful, why would you keep doing? Why would you stay? Like, and you're struggling because you need more. You need education. You need guidance. You need mentorship. You need to flourish, and you're
Right.
not going to do it there. So I love, when somebody comes to me and says, oh my God, I wish I had that. I tell them about what we have here,
Right.
and they say, I wish I had that. Well, you can.
Yeah. Our doors are open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can come talk to us, those kinds of things. And it's really, and it's a pretty proud feeling that I can say that to anybody else who's struggling out there, who's saying to themselves, hey, I'm just not getting where I want to go.
Yeah.
Right. And I can honestly say that, like, well, then we need to have a talk,
Right.
because I'm somewhere where, that's happened for me.
And we lead from the front. We are both in the weeds. Like I mentioned earlier, you're pretty much the first one in, last one out. If that's not being in the weeds for your team, I don't know what is. As a matter of fact, in this industry, I see a lot of these, half of these companies now are corporate backed, publicly traded on the S&P 500. So they really don't have your best interests. As a matter of fact, they probably don't know your name. If your broker does not know your name and you're working for a large company like that, you are at the end of the day just another number. Okay, you are another number. At Western Pioneer on Team Walker, you are family. You are someone that we care about. We want to know your child's name. We want to know, what you're struggling with, because we want to support each other. We are each other's crutches. And that's why we do fun things throughout the community. We just got done doing a trunk or treat. It exceeded our expectations. We brought out, children from the communities and past clients and just giving back. We're having Toys for Tots drive. We're getting deep with Habitat for Humanity. But we also have fun too. We have a company party where we turn up, we have a good time as well. But
Go bowling.
But yeah, we go bowling. But that's what a family is about. Not saying it's perfect either. There's family feuds. There's things that that we can't control as well. But at the end of the day, that's what we have here, and that's what I feel I'm really trying to get the message out there, because that is our value add proposition. We're not going to treat someone like a number. We're going to grow them. We're going to dig deep with them and understand what drives them, what motivates them, what are their fears, what are their goals. And sometimes people are afraid of success, and they don't talk about that. Yeah, we're afraid of failure, but there are times where, are you afraid of success? What does success look like for you? Those are the things we're going to ask you, and we're going to challenge you, because at the end of the day, we're going to personal develop you to be the best loan officer and the best realtor and best business partner possible.
Those are habits,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Those are habits.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I have rituals and I have a calendar of things that I do. And part of that calendar is, taking time to work on self-help, right? So self-help books, things that, books that I read that inspire me, what make me want to grow, by successful people. Because if you want what they got, you got to do what they do, right?
Right.
So that's, and that's what happens to me when I come to work every day. You're right. I am probably the first one in and one of the last ones to leave, because I'm committed
Yep.
to my business. I'm committed to my team. And same as you, like, and every morning it's, hi, Scott, hi, Michelle,
Yep.
and we do that little thing. But I mean, it is such, an energy, especially when, the hub fills up over there and everybody's doing their things and they're on their calls, and it gets kind of electric, and, but it's that mindset. They come to work with that mindset.
Right.
Right. They come to work as a part of a team to do that. So what a great time we had today with Scott Handley. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I just love chatting with you. And we always have we go deep with our conversations all the time, and watching some of the ideas that we share implemented is so much fun.
Yeah.
So, I want to share with you guys, a part of that conversation is if you are somewhere where you're not getting fed spiritually, developmentally, and you want to grow your business, I would encourage you to give Scott Handley a call if you're a real estate agent. And I too, as team walker, I've been doing this a long time. If you're a loan officer out there and you're thinking about aligning yourself with a top producer and you want to grow your knowledge base, your client base, I'm in the trenches with my team. I have a team of junior loan officers, and they are, they bring life into the business for sure. And I just love guiding them and mentoring them, just like you do, Scott. And so we'd love to chat with you more about that. So if you have questions or any information that you'd like to share with us, or maybe know somebody that wants to get started and they just don't know what questions to ask, we want to help you with that too. So give us, message us. As always, this is a podcast. So you got to subscribe, you got to like, you got to share, and you got to follow, right? And we love all the feedback that you can give us. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to watch our podcast. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and reach out if you have any questions.